Obesity. In 1999 through 2017, the obesity rate in the United States was about 30.5%. From 2017 to 2018, which is the most recent that I just came across, the rate was 42.4%. Now that's 4 years removed. So we can actually project that that rate is much higher at this point. We have a problem. This nation has a problem. And a lot of us are in denial about it. And I will say us because even though I have been gifted with some genetic gifts, the ability to move and be healthy, and I capitalize on that, but I live amongst people that if I'm not saying anything or passing a word on, then I am part of the we. We can't just separate ourselves and say that's your problem, that's their problem. If we're not educating one another, then we have a collective problem. Let's just immediately go to the health related issues with an obesity with an obese life. You're talking about immediately probably diabetes come to mind, hypertension, heart problems, potential cancers, respiratory, circulatory. All of these problems can play in an internal physical ailment, and those are just the tips of the iceberg. There's probably a whole bunch more that I'm very unaware of. That can play. Actually, I'll back up. Then there is the external physical. I guess I would call it more external when I'm not thinking organs. But due to a sedentary lifestyle of no exercise, then we're talking about your frame carrying all that extra weight, what it does to your neck, to your back, your hips, your knees, your ankles. You ever see a lot of overweight people always have like a knee brace on or some sort of walking aid? It's because your body's not meant to carry that much, and that becomes a real problem. So those two things will, and most definitely will play psychologically, because I think a lot of people know when they are overweight, it starts to give a depressive mindset, and sometimes things seem hopeful. Therefore, you don't try, and that sedentary lifestyle continues, and then you get into those the health risk that we talked about before. You can't be in denial, even though it's tough, and it's not a mission to fat shame anyone. This is to help where I can, just by hopefully this is just the spark that somebody hears or can pass on to someone else. Denial, it'll get into areas like it's not so bad, or with a lot of women, I like my curves. Your circle of friends, girl, you look good, you don't need to lose any weight, you look too skinny when you do. Listen to those people, because if they are as heavy as you are, there's a reason that they're saying it. It's because they don't want to be left behind. They see you on your journey. Continue your journey. Guys, you got to stop with the self-shaming fat guy jokes. It's not funny after a while. Everybody may chuckle or this or that, but people who care really want to see you do better. These things can get themselves to a point of eating disorders. So we really have to be careful, because again, the psychological will drive so much of the physical as far as sedentary, which is going to lead back into the hypertension, diabetes, and all these other things. Avoid the enablers, like I was just saying, and bad advice. So think about it this way. If you were brushing your teeth, doing regular dental care, and you had that friend or friends with bad teeth, you wouldn't really listen to them. No, you don't need that. You don't need to, brush, get that plaque. That doesn't make sense. You wouldn't listen to the friends who, have had their third repo or second evictions for financial advice. And I understand that there's a lot of times where if you're listening and you're saying, well, I have a health issue. Health issues are a little bit aside from it if you have a legitimate thyroid problem or this or that. But when we look at what people are eating and how often they are not exercising, even if with health problems, people compound their own existence by not doing enough, not following a professional healthcare advice, not seeking out training, not just going out and saying, I'm just going to undertake this journey myself. So I will give certain passes in certain cases, but so to say the person who, was evicted twice. Well, they lost their job or they got really sick. Okay, but that's not the usual. That's more of an exception. So I'm talking about the norm when it comes to that. Listen to the people that are doing well in their life and can give you sound financial advice, sound dental advice, sound health and fitness advice. That's where I was going with that. Find like-minded people. Ask questions. We ask questions all the time, and the problem is we only ask questions about things we want to know, because there's information everywhere. Get on your phone, you can Google anything. If you can Google that recipe for Dorito chili cheese pie, whatever 7-layer bean dip, then you can find out what the properties on kale are and how to prepare it. It's just true. Don't be embarrassed. I think I mentioned that before. And if you need no other inspiration, look at your favorite celebrities. Look how many people, Google how many of your celebrities are losing weight right now. And there's a reason. And there's a lot of them, comedians that were very heavy, that poked fun of skinny people and all this and that. Guess what? They're losing weight now. Why? Because it's healthy. You are going to experience a quality longevity of life by going through this journey of saying, I need to bring down the weight, I need to do better where my health risks are concerned, because they're up here. If you haven't been to the doctor in a while, go get a checkup. Go see a healthcare professional. Stop talking to just your friends, even the supportive ones, because if they're not healthcare professionals, they don't know. Get your blood work done, get your vitals checked, all of those things. Start on that journey. If not for yourself, your kids. Because in this country, again, 19.3% of the children are obese. That's about 14.4 million kids. That's a lot. That's a lot. We got to stop living in denial. Work out together. Say, we're going to go do this. The same way you plan family vacations together, it's in your hands. Plan that and then start doing that together. Eat better together, exercise, and don't give me this, my kids don't eat this and that, because you're the first ones to tell them, close the door, you're letting all the air out of my house. Cool. Then open the refrigerator and eat the food in my house. You have the power, you buy it. And if it's for their health, cut off that allowance or cut it down so they can't go out and just live on Takis and Red Bull. You have this power to do that. You have the ability to do that. Save your lives. Save your lives. I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully this is received in the spirit that it's intended to, from the bottom of my heart. Guys, reach out if you have questions. I will do the best that I can. And actually, I would say seek professional counsel, not only from your healthcare providers and professionals as in your doctors, but therapists as well. This is a psychological issue as well, and it can be very detrimental. Hopefully this helps. HWPO, hard work pays off. Impact Athletics Association.